I was born in SF, as was FTC. Both places are close to my heart, and both places will always be my home. Special thanks goes out to my mom, Kent, and the crew, SF New York skaters, James Kelch and the legendary EMB posse, SFTC and EMB forever. Peace. Rebelling against being an athlete. Growing up I was like 12, playing too many sports, baseball, stuff like that, and being pushed too hard by my dad. So I saw some kids not being good. Started skateboarding with them, you know what I mean? They looked like they were getting in trouble, so I was like, I'm gonna start doing that. Like, I think the first board I got, or first real skate, yeah, I think I just got like there was a Jason Jesse Santa Cruz or something, and then like a Tony Hawk pink Bonite Mini or something, like right around that era, right when Powell was like getting kind of whack or something, and I was like going into, you know, like street skating was about to start, and rode that board, and then I just started looking at magazines and saw this guy like Tommy Guerrero from SF, and then I think Future Primitive and all this stuff was already out. I'd go into skate shops, I think Go Skate in San Mateo, and watch like Future Primitive, and search for Animal Chen, stuff like that, and just saw that like the street skater, Tommy Guerrero, and stuff like that were like skating the Dish and Hunter's Point and just cruising around the streets of SF, and I was just like, wow, that looks like fun, you know? I didn't skate SF back then. I was just a little suburban kid, you know. And my parents got divorced like a year after me starting skateboarding. So I never even skated SF when I first started. Moved directly to New York probably when I was like 13. And I just grew up skating out there. I started meeting like good skateboarders. I've probably been skating for like not even 2 years. Went out to New York. So there's like a little hip sack with a photo with a you know, camera in my bag, taking pictures of spots that I would find out in like White Plains or New York City. I lived in Manhattan for like a year, and people like Barker Barrett, Billy Backer, Billy Waldman, Jeff Pang, like it was these like Shut street skateboard contests or demos that they were doing. Like Shut was the coolest thing ever. If I could have ever had a sponsor way back in the day, it would have been Shut Skateboards. First person to like say what's up was like Carl Watson, like nicest guy ever, you know. Make fun of me all the time because I would look crazy, you know. Wear big like pimp shirts, like 5 extra large. I used to have like a shaved head like this, but then with like a little bit of hair sticking out. It was like blue or red. He would like take my hat off and be like, "What's up with your hair, dude?" And then, but you know, then I just like shred anyway. You know, I didn't care. I was like, the spot looked. I could deal with like a little bit of ridicule because the spot looked so good, and I was just down to skate. I was just some T-dog from New York that came out in the summertime and like show up at EMB maybe a couple times throughout the summer, and I guess it was pretty good. But I was doing like all East Coast tricks, so every time I came out from New York to California and go to San Francisco, Mike York, Mike Carroll, Carl, everybody's doing all these tricks that I'm seeing in the videos. I learn them throughout the summer, and then I bring it back to my boys like out in New York. They're like, "How'd you learn all these tricks?" I'm like, dude, they're killing it out in California, you know what I mean? So they're like years ahead of us. Tim McKinney was the first person to back heel the 7, and right before that I did 360 double flip down the 7, and like the whole crew came in and like jumped me in, you know what I mean? Like 35 dudes, like I landed the trick right away towards the stage, like everyone just like, "What?" jumped on me. I like, so it felt like I was part of the crew then, you know? Okay. And after that minute, like I was just down. Once I was in it with EMB, man, it was just like family, man. Like, you know, we were all outcasts. And we finally had some place to hang out and like be down with everybody. It didn't matter. Everybody had each other's back, and that's where it was all happening. Like back in those skateboard days, it was still like hustling, you know, trying to make money because there wasn't any money yet. So if you get a big enough box, hopefully you can make half of it last and sell the other half on the street and try and, you know, get some food in your stomach, something like that, you know. But like, so you see these guys riding for World or like Mike York, they were already like a step ahead, you know what I mean? So they were already established in magazines. I was like barely, like I think I got a first Think ad at City Hall. I think it was a big spin backside tail slide or something. or kickflip backside tailslide maybe at Wallenberg. You know, I think I had a sightings photo in Transworld, and I was really bummed on it because like full on sequence, color sequence, like my first one in the mag, and then on the back it said this is Drake Jones and he is not from San Francisco. Well, like I said, back then, like there were so many new companies coming out and everything was fresh. Shopping around trying to like see who's gonna pay you maybe, or ride for this shoe company or this board sponsor. And Greg Carroll kind of found out, like, you know, what's up? He was asking me, like, I think Scott Johnson got on the team, and they given him a board, I think before me, and I think that kind of rubbed me the wrong way. It was a good board. I love Scott, and but I was just kind of like bummed on that. I was like, whatever. So I just started asking other dudes, like, you know, what's up with your company? What's up with that? And I think Greg hit me up, was like, what's up, man? You shop around? I was like, yeah, dude. I'm, you know. He's like, all right, we're gonna kick you off. I was like, that's cool, man. You know. And so I lost my venture sponsor, Think sponsor. I think those are only 2 sponsors. And then I was hanging out with Jamie Thomas a lot. He had already been in SF for probably about a year, and he wanted to start a company called Experience, and that's the first company I ever turned pro for. Experience Skateboard out of San Francisco. Probably
I remember that. I remember
1992. My first graphic was Jones Addiction, because my favorite band's Jane's Addiction. So it's from the album cover Nothing Shocking. And then my worst graphic ever was the SF Loves Me board, Flake Jones from Experience. Still need to find one of those somewhere out there. I know there's somebody's got one somewhere. So if I can find one of those boards, if anyone's got one of those boards, just send it my way, you know what I mean? I'd love to see that thing again. That's good memories right there.
That's sick.